Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chuck. I make videos for NBA, make videos for NFL. All these videos, they get posted on the subreddit. I'll have a link to this down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out, what that changes for the slate. You can ask me questions about the slate here. Anything you need, I'll be here up until lock if you have any questions. After lock, too, sometimes as well. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me here on Twitter. So let's go over my lineup from tonight. I'm just stone dead. There were two ways to go about this slate, in my opinion. It was one, playing for a competitive game in the Milwaukee game, which is what happened, and two, playing for the blowout. And I went for the blowout route, and I told everyone in Discord that, okay, my core today, my regular core, like my regular core that I give every single day. So my regular core today was Devin Vassell. He smashed. Trey Jones, he was also core play. He smashed. Jamal Murray was a core play, and then Jonathan Kuminga was a core, I think. Or no, Keldon Johnson. Okay. And then I had a large field core, and I told everyone I was playing for the blowout and to expect to lose money 9 times out of 10 if this game stayed competitive, and that's what happened. So I went the blowout risk. I gave everyone 2 cores in Discord, a large field core, the regular core that I usually give, and then I give tiers cores as well. I went the blowout route, but the regular core smashed. Like Keldon salvaged at the end, he did good. Vassell broke the slate. Jamal Murray just picked up 2 fouls, but yeah, Kuminga in the large field core smashing. Yeah, I went the blowout route, so I am stone dead. And it looks like a lot of sharp people went the blowout route. Like I recognize a lot of people down here that are very, very sharp players that went the route of the blowout. Didn't work out, but I am happy with this decision that I made today playing for the blowout. Even though it was only a 9-point spread, but it's the Spurs, right? So yeah, unfortunate, but after having back to back really, really good days of like 6x or more, came down to earth. But I didn't play any volume on this slate. It was a really, really bad slate. Like I hated this slate. So hope you guys all had a good night. Let's get into this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 game slate. All right, Utah, Boston. I mean, it's a tough spot here. Utah, they're just trolling the rotation, so I don't have too much interest in this team. Markkanen, I mean, his minutes weren't even great last game. Like, he played 38 in overtime, so he played 33 in regulation. So that's not great. Also, a tough matchup going up against Boston. So, more of a contrarian play for me. What they're doing with the guards, they're just going with the hot hand. Like, you're going to see some Clarkson, you're going to see some Sexton, you're going to see some George. Like, it's impossible trying to predict what they're going to do with the rotation. Like, one of these guys is probably going to have a big game at their respective price points, but trying to gauge which one it's going to be is next to impossible. You're going to see some Walker Kessler in the rotation. I mean, I don't know if I want to do it on this slate. John Collins has been starting, but he hasn't been getting a ton of run. It's just like, okay, if I knew like John Collins played 28 minutes tomorrow, I would like him at this price point. But like, they're just doing some absolute troll stuff with this rotation. Simone Fontecchio has been playing big minutes of late. I don't want to pay that price for him, so it's just really, really disgusting stuff. Yeah. All right, Boston, really, really, really good spot here. So, like, I like Tatum for tournaments, but can Utah keep this competitive? Like, this is just a smash matchup, so I like Tatum. He's probably my favorite of this grouping. Porzingis, Brown, White, Drew, more contrarian plays. If I had a second favorite of that grouping, it probably would be Porzingis, but at their price points, I mean, they all just eat up each other's usage. So I think they're all priced right. I wish they were cheaper because it's a really, really good spot, but I like Tatum as a contrarian setup. I don't think a ton of people are going to play Tatum tomorrow. He's going to play huge minutes. I mean, he's their go-to guy. It's a really, really good spot going up against Utah. So I like Tatum as a contrarian setup tomorrow. I'm not going to get too much else, though. This is a game where we can get some really, really, really good plays from. This over-under is just absolutely insane. So Trae Young at the top. I really like Trae Young. Pacers, they push the pace. Every game they're in is pretty much unbelievably high scoring. He's stuffed the stat sheet, going to give you a double-double pretty much every single game. He's going to play 40 minutes as long as the game stays competitive. So I like Trae Young quite a bit here up at the top. I think DeJounte Murray is even solid at 7.7K. I absolutely love Jalen Johnson at 6.9K. I still think he's a bit too cheap. He's also playing huge minutes. He just got into foul trouble this game. Stat sheet stuffer. Really good spot going up against the Pacers. So I really like Jalen Johnson here. Capella, Kongwu, these two guys will split the center minutes. If I had to pick one, it would be a Kongwu. Even guys like Bogdan Bogdanovic, like Saddiq Bey, they're firmly in play as well. Saddiq Bey, I would say, is a bit safer. Bogdan more of a ceiling play, but yeah, there's definitely a decent amount to like on this Atlanta team for tomorrow. Now let's move on to the Pacers. So just a smash spot here. I love Tyrese Haliburton up at the top at 10.2K. His assist rates and potentials are just absolutely insane. And in close games, he is also playing huge minutes. So, yeah, I really like Haliburton here up at the top. I think Miles Turner, his minutes just aren't great right now, but he does have a ceiling. The wings, I don't know. If Bruce Brown and Nembhard are both out, then we can start considering guys like Mathurin, Neesmith, Buddy Hield, etc. But if they're both in, I don't think I'm going to touch the wings. Like, in my one lineup, if you're playing like 20 max, 150 max, sure, you could start considering guys like Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown would be my favorite at that price point. And then if Nembhard's out, T.J. McConnell would be in play for value. Should play around 20 minutes. Would be fine, and then could play a bit more if Bruce is out as well. Maybe a little bit more alongside Haliburton, but not that big of a bump. The center rotation, I mean, they're playing Isaiah Jackson a decent amount more of late. I guess I have interest. Like, if you give him 20 minutes at this price point, he's probably going to smash. So I definitely have interest in Isaiah Jackson for tournaments. Obi Toppin, just a dart for me. Jalen Smith, his minutes have ticked way down, so hard to go there. Yeah, the wings and everyone, it's tough. If Bruce and Nembhard are out, then we can start, considering the wings. I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get that news and who I like, etc. All right, moving on to the Thunder. I think SGA is fine. I think I prefer guys like Trae. I think I prefer guys like Haliburton, but SGA has been absolutely insane. I mean, he just does everything for this team, so I have no issue if you want to play SGA tomorrow. Chet, more of a contrarian play for me. I would say Jalen Williams is priced about right. Josh Giddey, his minutes up, down. I think the minute ceiling for him is like 27, 28 minutes. Like, at this price point, he's not going to project pretty great. If he's low owned, I'm okay with it just because he has this type of ceiling, but if he's going to be popular, it's not someone I want to click on a 11-game slate. Lou Dort on an 11-game slate, I mean, it's fine. He'll play big minutes. It's up to if he hits his shots or not. Good defender, can get defensive stats. It's reasonable. And there's no way you could not pay me to play guys like Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Joe, Case and Wallace on this big of a slate. We'll have better value opening up later. All right, moving on to the Nets. I mean, this team also. I mean, Claxton got into foul trouble last game. He was on pace for decent minutes. This game they blew out, but he was already getting into minutes trolls. It's just absolutely insane what this team's doing. So if Claxton gets his normal minutes, I have interest for tournaments. Mikal Bridges, he's up, he's down. I like his ceiling for tournaments. He'll probably be really low owned, but his floor has been extremely low. Dennis Smith Jr. is probable. He's a reasonable value. Should see around 20 minutes off the bench. Good point per minute guy. Fine with it. Dorian Finney-Smith at 4.4K, just there for me. But now that the prices come down, I don't mind it. Cam Thomas, no thank you. Cam Johnson's minutes aren't great. Dinwiddie at 6.3K, I guess is fine, but this team just very unappealing. All right, moving on to the Knicks. Not a good spot here, but I still like OG at 6.2K. He was on pace to play close to 40 minutes last game. We know he's, good rebounder, can stuff the stat sheet. So I still like OG. I still think he's a bit too cheap, especially with his minutes that he's getting on the Knicks right now. So like OG there at the top. Not a good spot, but Randall Brunson, they're firmly in play for tournaments just because they're playing huge minutes, and these two guys are just going to absolutely chuck when they're out there. I mean, look, they have no more Quickly. They have no more RJ Barrett. They have nobody to shoot the ball. Nobody. So, like, Brunson Randall might shoot 25 times a game. So, I don't think people are kind of realizing that when they lost RJ and they lost Quickly, that's a lot of people that are going to, like, shoot. So, I'm intrigued by them. I don't like the spot, but They'll be really low owned. It's fine. I think my favorite play is OG. Isaiah Hartenstein's just playing all the minutes he can handle. If he stays out of foul trouble, I mean, he's very, very safe. So I like Hartenstein. Just tough matchup going up against Embiid. Dante's priced right. Josh Hart's priced right. If you think Hartenstein gets into foul trouble, Precious Achiuwa will benefit from that. But even then, they just want to play Hartenstein a ton of minutes, so I don't think he'll play a ton anyway. Moving on to the Sixers, so looking at the spenders on the slate, if you're spending up all the way at the top, I think Joel Embiid is just my favorite. He's just been on another level this season. His assist rates are up. He's been doing a really, really good job rebounding. Another thing, Doc Rivers wasn't playing him 40 minutes a game. Nick Nurse is, so you also get that added as a benefit as well. So I love Joel Embiid here at the top. I don't care what spot he's in. Tyrese Maxey, I would say, is priced right. Tobias Harris is a bit overpriced. I do like Kelly Oubre. So he was on pace to play like 33, 34 minutes with no D'Anthony Melton. They actually slashed some minutes from Patrick Beverley. So I do like Oubre's ceiling here at 5'8". I don't think a lot of people will be on him. If you give him like 32, 33 minutes with no Melton, he is a little bit too cheap. So I like Oubre for tournaments. But like I said, Patrick Beverley lost minutes last game, so I'm not going to go there. Not going to go to guys like Batum or Morris. Moving on to Washington, don't like much. Tough matchup. They're trolling the rotations. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Denny at 6.1K, but pretty easy team to talk about. I don't think I'll be prioritizing anyone there. All right, back to the Cleveland Wells. So love Donovan Mitchell here at 9.5K. The faders that faded last game got absolutely bailed out, but he's a really, really good play once again. Smash matchup going up against Washington. Washington play fast as well. If this game stays competitive, he's going to play close to 40 minutes. You can't get a better match than this. So I really, really like Donovan Mitchell tomorrow. Jared Allen, like I said, I'm not going to say no if you want to keep playing him. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and he should just be able to feast. You guys always know I like targeting Daniel Gafford on the other side of games. He should be able to feast here. Probably going to get you a double-double. They're actually running some offense through him as well. His assists have been way up too, so I still like Jared Allen, even at this price point. His minutes way up as well. So, yeah, I think both the top two guys here look really good for the Cavs. Max Strus, LeVert. These are more of your tournament plays between these guys, but Max Strus will play huge minutes. Just comes down to if he hits his shots or not. LeVert will play high 20s minutes off the bench, but he'll be very, very high usage off the bench. Does have this type of ceiling, but still more of a tournament play. I'm not going to play a Coro. Sam Merrill, I mean, he's fine. If he's not hitting his shots, he does have this type of floor. So if he's like a popular play tomorrow, I think I'll fade once again, like when he was popular here and I faded, but playable. Not going to play guys like Niang. I think Merrill's just better, but Niang's playable as well. All right, moving on to Charlotte. Not a good spot here going up to Chicago, but the good thing with this team is they're running their starters into the ground. Mainly like Terry Rozier and Miles Bridges. They're both playing 40 minutes a game. Now, not the best spot, but with how many minutes they are playing, I definitely think they're firmly in play for me. Miller at 6'5", I would say is priced right, maybe a bit overpriced. Nick Richards, this guy's always in foul trouble, but should play around 30 minutes. He's reasonable. With Mark Williams, Hayward, LaMelo out, Cody Martin's been getting a bump. I would say he's priced right, though. And then I'm not going to play anyone else. All right, moving on to Chicago. So we have Vooch, Levine, Patrick Williams, all questionable. Levine, if he plays, will be on a limit. Paul's Prowell. And I would assume Vooch will be on a limit if he plays. So if everyone's in here, I'm just going to cross this team off. If we get a situation where everyone's out, then I like Andre Drummond for tournaments. As long as he can stay out of foul trouble, he should play close to 30 minutes. Really, really good spot going up against Charlotte. Like, he should be able to feast on the glass here. So I like Drummond a lot for tournaments if those guys are out. DeMar White, they're both fine, playable, solid options. Caruso, I think, is priced right. Io will be in the rotation. Don't think I want to do it. But should play around 30 minutes. Also playing a blowout. And, Patrick Williams at 5K. I mean, he had the worst game of his, maybe the last 2 games, worst game of his careers, but playable if he plays. I think it's going to wrap it up. All right, let's move on to the Clippers. Not much here. Tough matchup going up against the Pels. Kawhi, Harden, Paul George. They're all priced right, especially for this given matchup. Zubac, he's going to lose some minutes with Plumlee back, so it's hard to go there. Westbrook at 5'8", no thank you. Powell play low to mid-20s minutes off the bench. I actually think he's a solid value now that the price has come down, so I like Powell. Not going to get to man. And then Plumlee, they're kind of easing him back in, so can't go there. Pelicans, not much here either. Like Ingram, Zion, CJ, I think they're all fine. Not a good spot going up against Clippers. Jonas, Nance, they're splitting the center minutes. I think Nance is solid value. Should play low 20s minutes. Good point per minute guys. So I like Nance. Herb Jones, no thank you. I don't love much else. All right, Minnesota. Not a good spot going up against Houston, but Ants in play. The guy I do like here quite a bit is Cat. He's just too cheap. I know he's been way up and down this year, but 36 minutes last game, 7.2K price point. He's usually like an 8.5K guy. So you're getting him at an incredible discount here. So I like Cat quite a bit at that price point. Rudy Gobert's fine. He's also playing huge minutes, but I think I'd rather just play Cat. Mike Conley priced right. McDaniels, he should play 30-ish minutes, a reasonable value, and I don't like much else. All right, on to Houston. So keep an eye on Eason if they're going to continue to limit him. If they are going to limit him, say it's just a tournament dart for me, and then that's going to hurt guys like, Jabari Smith, like Jalen Green, Jay Sean T, these guys, Amin Thompson, who's been getting around of late. So keep an eye on the Eason news. And if he is out, then I like Jabari Smith. He's going to play all the minutes he can handle if Eason's out. Just had a really, really bad game last game. Price come down a little bit. Sang and Fred, they're always in play for me just because they're playing huge minutes, but I don't like the spot going up against the Timberwolves. And then Tate, I mean, this guy has been so bad, but you can consider it. All right, let's move on to Portland. So, Jabari Walker is doubtful. Also, we have Ayton out. We have Moses Brown out. Did you guys watch that Portland game last game? Jabari Walker got into he picked up two fouls instantly and got hurt. And then what else happened? Badgie picked up 5 fouls instantly. Someone else, something happened to someone else. Who was it? Duop Reith got ejected from this game. All the bigs just got in foul trouble, injured, or ejected. Incredible. Because, all right, so Simons was on a limit last game. I believe Sharp's also on a limit, so can't go to the main guys. It also hurts Brogdon, also hurts Grant, definitely hurts Scoot. So the main guys basically out of play for me here, but they don't have any bigs. So I feel like they're going to have to play Reith and Badgie or split the center minutes. So with that being said, I do like whoever starts. So whichever big starts, I like for value, and then the backup is solid value as well. And like I said, I don't like the main guys at all. I guess Kamara is fine at 4.5K as well. All right, really good spot here going up against Dallas. We have Exum doubtful, and we also have Lively questionable. If Lively's out, in the past they have started, Grant Williams at the 5. I don't know if they do that up against Portland though. They've started Grant sometimes. They've started Dwight Powell sometimes. So we'll keep an eye on there. If they start with Dwight Powell, he's playable. Derek Jones Jr. is priced right. Luka, always in play for me. Kyrie, intrigued by him at this price point. It's a good spot going up against Portland. I think he is a bit too cheap, but there is a ton of blowout risk here. And I think that's going to wrap it up. All right, Orlando. So Franz out, Fultz out. We have Wendell Carter Jr. also questionable. If he's out, Gogan, Mo Wagner will split these center minutes. I would like Mo at 4.6K. I would think he'd have to play around 20 minutes. He's a really good point per minute guy. So if that's the case, I do like Mo. Gogo will be playable. Paolo, he's going to have to do everything for this team, but it's not a good spot going up against Denver. But like Paolo quite a bit. Suggs is priced right. Cole Anthony's priced right. And then, okay, so they're going to start Suggs, Paolo, Goga, Black, and then keep an eye on who they start with the 5th starter. But I remember playing Okiki back in 2020, and he would absolutely smash. Keep an eye on that. Whoever starts would be fine. And yeah. All right, Denver. So Jokic always in play. I think I ranked some other spin-ups ahead of him. Not a good spot going up against Orlando either. Jamal's fine. MPJ overpriced. Aaron Gordon priced right now. He was 5.8K today. I'm not sure what that was. All right, last game here. Miami up against Phoenix. So Jimmy Butler out, Caleb Martin doubtful. They started Jovic last game. If they start him again, I do like Jovic quite a bit for value. And then with J. Rich back, Kyle Lowry and J. Rich, they kind of eat into each other a bit, especially with their minutes. So I wouldn't play both together, but I'm sure you can go there for value. That's fine. Jamie's just playing 40 minutes a game right now, so I like Jamie quite a bit. And then Bam and Harrow are both solid. All right, Phoenix. So Kevin Durant is questionable, and we have Eric Gordon questionable. Don't love much here. I mean, Bol's been in the rotation. Fine dart for like large field tournaments. Metu, no. I'm not going to touch Grayson or Eric Gordon. Beal, I think, is priced right now, especially if Kevin Durant comes back. Booker, you can consider in large field tournaments if Kevin Durant's out. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and I will talk to you all in the next one.